Can you talk a little bit more about how do women approach finances differently compared to men?
Yeah, so there are a number of different things we've noticed, right? And just as an aside, as a book recommendation, there's this book called Warren Buffett Invests Like a Girl, which talks about Warren Buffett's feminine traits that makes him such a prolific investor. So that should maybe tell you something. But yeah, I think things we've seen are women tend to be more long-term planners, right? So it's unlikely to find a woman doing more trading, but she'll tend to be more of an investor, right? There are stereotypes that call women very risk averse, right? So maybe it's better for women to stick to safer asset classes, etc. But what we've seen is women are more risk aware, right? Women like to take risks, but want to know what they're getting into before taking that leap, right? Three is women tend to ask a lot of questions, right? In a very good way. I think if you're putting your money anywhere, you need to have a detailed understanding of what's going on, right? So women will tend to go into details. I remember in our community early on, we were discussing mutual funds, right? Someone asked, what happens if the fund manager leaves, right? Where will my money go? Which, it's a good question, but that doesn't really come up, anywhere else. So yeah, I think these are, and yeah, lastly, I would say women tend to think of not just themselves. They tend to think of their families, their peers, a lot more, right? So when a woman so I'll give you an example. When we were experimenting with health insurance, so we partnered with an insurance broker, and we were actually doing advisory calls with our community, of course, in conjunction with the broker, and we ended up even helping sell some health insurance policies. And we saw that women were not only buying for themselves, they were buying for in-laws. They were buying for their parents. One woman was like, well, can you give my sister the exact same policy I got, right? So we saw more of that happening, where it was more of a communal sort of like, I need to take care of, other people as well. So I think these are some things we've seen that men may not tend to do. I'm not saying, we're obviously broadly generalizing, but I think it's, we saw these sort of very specific things with women, of course. So yeah, I think those were some of the observations.